Hello to you. I'm Jesse Johnson. This is Islam, the only 1,405 years world war. This world war is against the whole of humanity. World war against the total human race. This is part 2. Part 2, please share and subscribe. This is part 2. Part 1 is from 623 AD to 632 AD. Part 2, of which this is from 600s AD to the 800s AD. Part 3 is from the 900s AD to the 1200s AD. Part 4 is from the 1300s AD to the 1600s AD. Part 5 is from the 1700s AD to the 1900s AD. And Part 6 is from 2000 AD to 2025 AD. Number 1, the Quran was written 150 years after so-called Muhammad, who never existed after he died. Number 2, Al-Bukhari, 810 AD to 870 AD, was the first hadith writer. He wrote his hadiths 830 to 846 AD, and this was 200 years after the non-existent Muhammad died. Al-Daraqutni wrote his hadiths a maximum of 353 years after so-called Muhammad had died, who never existed. The hadiths were written, in other words, 200 to 253 years after so-called Muhammad, who never existed. This is part of the false narrative. This here, the wars and killings and slaughter are real, but what it is built on is false. Now, Islam and world conquest. The over 780 wars, battles of Muslims in 1,400 years to subdue humanity, 623 to 2025 AD. This is the raids, sieges, mass butcheries, mass genocides, mass murders, mass slaughters, tens of thousands of beheadings, battles, wars, large and small, invasions, offensive-only attacks, assassinations, expeditions, conquests, surges, campaigns, defeats, civil wars between Muslims themselves, revolts, massacres, disruptions, and rebellions, sacks, and so on. The over 750 major wars and battles, and over 200 minor wars and battles, and to subdue the whole of humanity over a 1,400 years time period, to force all humans to become Muslims and to accept the political ideology of Islam by force, sword, or death, starting with the slaughter, 80 to 120 rapes, mass murders, and more than 1,000 beheadings of Muhammad himself, and his second, third, and fourth in command offensive attacks. We will begin at 600 AD to 699 AD, 630 AD, Battle of Hunain and conquest of Mecca, 630 to 632 AD, Muslims attack Oman, Arabia, Syria, Jordan, and Yemen, 632 AD to 661, Rashidun Caliphate, 29 years it lasted, 633 to 634, Battle of Al-Madir, conquest of Persia, in this same year, conquest of the Levant, Battle of Al-Wallashah, surge into Syria in 633 to 634, 634 to 635, conquest of Syria, expedition of Fihil, conquest of Damascus, Battle of Al-Qawqis, this is in 634, 635, 635 to 636 now, Battle of Mar al-Rum, conquest of Hims, all in the same year, Battle of Al-Qadisiyah, conquest of Caesarea, attack on Byzantine and Sassanid, which is the Persian empires, in 632 to 661. 29 years this lasted for all these attacks. Siege of Gaza, conquest of Bayzan, Sassanid Empire versus the Muslims, 636 AD. To continue, The Battle of Aj Nadin, 636 to 637. This happened within that time. Battle of Burrs, Battle of Yarmouk, Byzantine, Battle of Babil, Battle of Jalulullah al-Waqiyah, Battle of al-Qadisiyah, Conquest of Takrit, Arabs defeat Qadisiyah and sack Sistes Simon, Conquest of Massabedajan, Battle of Qisiyah, 636 to 636 to 642, Conquest of Iraq, Southeast Persia and Egypt, 638 to 639, the conquest of Al-Madain, Muslims enters Syria, Israel, Lebanon, Iraq, conquest of Al-Jazira, conquest of Egypt, campaign of Khalid and Iyyad, Muslims attack Anatolia and Armenia, conquest of Al-Amwats, conquest of Tustar, raids, multiple raids on Fars, conquest of Ramhurmus, Al-Sus and Tustar, conquest of Al-Sus. And let's continue, please, for the 600s. Also, in 638, 639 was the conquest and capture of Jerusalem. We'll go to 640 to 641. Muslims attack Isfahan. 641 to 643. Conquest of Persia, which is Iran today. 641 to 643. Muslims enter and attack Egypt. 641. 642 to 643. The conquest of Al-Ray, Qimas, Jujan, Tarbaristan, Azerbaijan, Al-Bab, capture of Alexandria. This is another one, capture of Alexandria, conquest of Egypt, 643 to 644, conquest of Tarwaj, Istakhir, Fazah, Darab, Jirib, Kerman, Sizjestan, and Markra. 643 to 644, assassination of Omar, the second caliph, Battle of Rasil, 644 to 645, campaign of Walid Ubia in Adhar, Bijan, and Armenia. Also in this year, 644, 645, Byzantine forces gather against Muslims. 646, Muslims sack Alexandria. 647 to 648, conquest of Freak Yah, conquest of Maghrib. 648 to 649, Muawiyah's attack on Cyprus. 649, 651. These are all Muslim attacks. 649, 651. Campaign of Said B. al-As in Tabrizinistan. 651 to 652. Battle of Damascus against the blacks. The black people, 651, 652, campaign in Khurasan by Abdallah B. Amr. Let's continue. 656 AD, Battle of the Camel. Othman, the third caliph, assassinated. 656, 661, the first civil war between Muslims themselves. Ali al-Mutada, Ali ibn Talib, caliph. Number 4, first fitna, Aisha Muawiyah. 656, 915. Conflicts and wars between Muslims themselves. 259 years. Umayyad dynasty begins. 657 AD, Battle of Siffin, Battle of Ali, who was assassinated. 651, 680 AD, 29 years total. Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, the 5th caliph. 670 AD, garrison at Akar Rovan for conquest of North Africa. 670 AD, still entire Middle East under Muslim control. Damascus, capital of the Caliphate, made so in 670 AD, 673 AD now. Muslims attack Iraq, Egypt, Iran, Algeria, United Arab Emirates, UAE, to maintain control. 680, Second Fitna, Umayyad Caliphate. 691 AD, Dome of the Rock built as Solomon's third temple and non-Trinitarian Christian temple shrine in one. The Jews and the Christians as one voice. 698 AD, Muslims attack Turkey, Somalia, Morocco. 698 AD, and this concludes the 600s AD. Most of the attacks and slaughters and wars of Muslims against the human race. The total 74 battles in 70 years through 630 AD to 699 AD. Now, these were unprovoked wars by Muslims, battles, surges, sieges, expeditions, campaigns, assassinations, offensive attacks, genocides, whole towns slaughtered and wiped out, enslavements, and so forth, of Muslims against others, trying to force others into being Muslims. We'll go now to 700 AD to 799 AD. 700 AD. Muslims start to accept non-Muslims as Muslims. 702 AD. Battle of Vornekert. 711 AD. Battle of Hispania. In the same year, Muslims enter India. 711, Muslims cross North Africa into Spain, drive Visigoths from Toledo. Battle of Guadalete, Spain. 711 to 718, which is 7 years. The siege of Constantinople, which is the first one. Number 711 to 1492, which is 781 years. Islam in the West, Spain, lasts that long. 712 AD, conquest of Sind. 713, conquest of Multan. 717, second siege of Constantinople. 718, retreating from Arabs. Visigoths go to North Spain. 719, Islamic invasion of Gaul. 720, Bashmurian revolts against Muslims, Umayyad Caliphate. 721, first Turges, Muslims that is, invasion of Transoxiana. Number 723 AD, Muslims attack Ethiopia and Afghanistan. 725, Muslims occupy Nimes, France. 729, Battle of Bakand, and also siege of Kermarja. 730 AD, Khazars invade Iran at Battle of Ardadil. Also, along with this, John of Damascus is around at this time. In 731 AD, the Battle of Defile. And let's please continue. At 732 AD, which took a battle of Tours. This is in the Franks. The Muslims defeated at Poitiers. Islam becomes existential threat, life and death, that is, to all of Europe. 732 AD to 1683 AD, which is 851 years. Muslims attacks many parts of Europe. 732, 1529, and 1683. 3 times. Muslims almost conquered all of Europe. 734, rebellion in or of Al-Harith ibn Surayya. 735, Asad ibn suppresses Harith ibn Surayya's rebellion. 735 to 737 AD. Oh yes, Moran ibn Muhammad's invasion of Georgia. 737, defeat of Muslims at Avignon. Battle of Karistan. 740 AD, Battle of Nobles. Battle of Ron Ninan Sayyidi revolt against the Muslims. 741 AD, Battle of Bagdura. 743, Shia revolt in Khurasan. 744, Battle of Ain al-Jir. 745 AD, Kufa and Mosul occupied by Kharijite. Let's see. Abbasid revolution of Muslims. 747, revolt of Abu Muslims. 748, Battle of Ray. Let's continue, please. In 749 AD was the Battle of Isfahan, also Battle of Nihawand. 750 AD, the Abbasid Caliphate from 750 to 1258 or 508 years it lasted, occupying parts of China, Turkic slavery, Persia, Syria, Egypt, and Arabia. Also in 750, the Battle of Zab River, Muslims attacks China, 750 to 751 AD, the Abbasid massacre. The Abbasids massacre the Umayyads in Damascus, 750 to 1258, which is 508 years. Muslims attacks on China, 751, Battle of Talis between Chinese and Arab Muslims, 753, Muslims attack Russia and Tunisia, 755 AD, Sun Badin revolt, 756, Abd Rahman begins new caliph of Umayyads in Cordoba, Spain. 758, invasion of Ras Tarkhan. 762, 763, Ali revolt against Muslim attacks and slaughter and genocides. 760, 780 AD, 20 years that is, Muslims attack Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Israel, Jordan, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Yemen, Georgia, Turkey, Italy, Sicily, Greece, Spain, Portugal to maintain power. 762, Abbasids create Baghdad as their capital. 772, Battle of Jadbi. 775 AD. 775 AD, Battle of Bagrivad. 777 AD, Siege of Saragossa of Spain. Let's continue, please, with the 700s AD. 782 AD. 782 AD, expedition against the Byzantines. 786, Alid rebellion in Mecca, Battle of Fakhi. 792 AD, invasion of South France. 793, 796, Quizi Yamini war. Now, this here is a total of 84 wars, battles, etc. in 96 years of Muslims trying to conquer and rule the world by forcing everyone to become Muslim and accept their Islamic desert belief system. We'll go to the 800s AD now. 800 AD to 899 AD. 803 AD, Muslims invade Tajikistan. 805, revolt of Rafi ibn Layth. 806 AD, campaign against the Byzantines. 810 AD, al-Bukhari. 810 to 870 AD, wrote the first hadith. 830 to 846 AD. 811 AD, the Abbasid Civil War, Muslims against Muslims, and at the Battle of Ray. Now, let's see now, 812 AD, the Siege of Baghdad. 815 AD, Sadi Revolt. 816 AD, Umayyads capture Corsica. 820 AD to 842 AD, 20 years that is, Muslims attack Algeria, Turkey, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan. Muslims attack Armenia, France, Croatia. 827 AD, conquest of Sicily. 837 AD, revolt of Jats. 838, al-Tabiri. 838 893, writes the Takrik and the Tafsir in 202 to 291 years after so-called Muhammad, and the events had occurred. Now, 839 AD, 839 AD, the revolt of Matyar of Tabaristan, let's see, 840 to 860 AD, 20 years that is, Muslims attack and slaughter Slovenia, Lesbo, Azerbaijan, parts of Arabia, 846 AD, revolt of Muawqat, Tammuz, 854 to 855, Homs, Homs, revolts against Muslim attacks. Let's continue, please. 861 AD, disruption of Samaria. 862, conquest of Faru Riya. 863 AD, battle of Lalakean. 866 AD, Abbasid civil war. Also in that same year, Karajat rebellion. 869 AD, battle of Zanj. 870 AD, Turks revolt against Mu'tadi. 871 AD, Sanj rebellion, Iraq. 876 AD, battle of Dar al-Aqil. 878 AD, fall of Syracuse to the Muslims. Fall of Syracuse to the Muslims. 894 AD, Rustamians becomes vassals in Spain. 898, Qamatians, Muslims sack Basra. In total, 42 battles, wars, sieges, genocides, etc. 14 caliphates in 90 years, 2 civil wars of Muslims against Muslims, all hadiths written between 830 AD to 895 AD, Bukhari to Al-Qur'ani, 202 to 363 years after events took place. I want to thank everyone for listening and watching. Please share this video and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for listening and watching once again. Please, part 3 will be coming up in just a short while from now. This has been part 2. Please go to part 1, which begins at 6:23 to 6:32, and have a fine day.